Man, what the did Kathy Hochul just say about black kids? What's up, guys? Kathy Hochul should really be ashamed of herself. Now, Kathy Hochul has single-handedly literally made probably the most racist statement that I've heard in my entire life. And if you're not offended by this, whether you're a black kid, a black person, you will probably be offended by the end of this particular clip that I'm going to share with you guys. But for those of you guys who don't know who Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York City. Now, if this doesn't tell you exactly how she thinks about you as a black person, as a black kid, think about your black kids, right? And even if you're not a black person, she just happened to call out black people. What does she think about other minorities, non-whites? I'm personally very offended by what she just said.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
And so it's statements like this from Kathy Hochul that really make you ask, why do so many black people continuously vote for Democrats? Am I to think that all Democrats just think that black people are stupid? I mean, this lady's about dumber than a box of AOCs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
young black kids growing up.
Did Kathy Hochul literally just, I feel like she was trying to say something nice, but her ingrained racism may have just kind of overshadowed her cerebral cortex to come out and just say literally the most racist thing that I've heard in a very long time. And here she is at, what is this, the Milken Institute? So according to Google, the Milken Institute is a nonprofit, nonpartisan think tank that helps people build meaningful lives. Really? Is this what they're talking about at the Milken Institute? I mean, I'm personally offended. Now, if you guys are offended, I mean, and I think that share this with someone else. Like, this is the freaking governor of New York City. Like, is this what she thinks of black people? Look at this guy. This guy is looking at a laptop. He's like, what is this, fire? I mean, as if he's looking at a laptop for the first time in his life. I mean, this has to be what Kathy Hochul. This has to be what Kathy Hochul thinks of black people. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, apparently racism is not dead. And evidently, Kathy Hochul, because, you know, here we are in 2024. We've made a lot of progress. I mean, we're not living in the 1800s anymore here in America. But I feel like it's ignorance like this that literally keeps racism on life support. I mean, this is really a bad look for Kathy Hochul. I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, here's the thing. You got Donald Trump going for re-election up in, November 2024. Donald Trump is in New York City right now, and he is literally gaining like all sorts of minority support to an extent that we haven't seen before, right? And he's actually going to be, it really seriously looks like he's taking a lot of the votes away from President Biden, which have traditionally been minority votes. If you look at where Donald Trump is going, he's going into Harlem, he's going into, different parts of Manhattan, and he's getting a lot of support from groups and individuals that normally traditionally don't seem to support him, or at least they don't show that they support him on mainstream media. These are elected officials. These are elected positions that these folks need your vote from. Kathy Hochul, with her one-liner, likely has single-handedly ensured that she will never get another black vote moving forward. So I'm not sure when Kathy Hochul is up for re-election, but I'm pretty sure most people are not going to be looking to vote for her, at least if you've heard this particular statement from her. And then it's like, okay, well, what is a computer? I mean, a computer is what? A tower, a desktop? A computer could be a laptop? Like, you're telling me you don't see kids in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, or whatever borough she happened to mention. I think she said the Bronx. You're telling me you don't ever see black kids using a computer, a laptop? What is a phone nowadays? A smartphone is a freaking computer. The computing power in your phone has been said to be greater than the computing power that they used to launch spaceships into orbit decades ago. So you're telling me black people and black kids don't know how to use a computer? Duh. I mean, like, kids were like stuck in their houses for like years. How did they do that during COVID? I mean, you're telling me like black kids somehow just use pen and paper, no computers, like for digital learning day? Like Kathy Hochul, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for an apology from Kathy Hochul because this is highly offensive. And the funny thing is Kathy Hochul is a Democrat. And, growing up, I was always told, oh, you gotta vote Democrat. You gotta vote Democrat. But, it's like, why do black people have this stigma that they have to vote Democrat? Why can't they be an independent? Why can't black people just, be a Republican? Why does your race need to dictate what party you should vote for, or what party you should align with? And so here you have a Democrat who typically they market themselves as being for black people, being for the minorities and whatnot. But here you have Kathy Hochul as a staunch Democrat in one of the bluest states, in one of the bluest cities in America, New York City, saying one of the most ignorant, racist things I have ever heard in my freaking life, at least from the level of the political office position that she holds. Kathy Hochul is the governor of New York City. And for her to allow that level of ignorance to come out of her mouth, she should literally be ashamed of herself. Videos of her saying that gibberish, that trash out of her mouth, absolutely offended an entire spectrum of people. This is coming from the woke community. Like, is this what liberals really think? Like, how does she get away with this kind of stuff? This is just absolute nonsense, guys. Am I to think that all Democrats just think that black people are stupid? That you can just say things like this and you can just kind of get away with it and still get the black vote from the black community? I mean, and so it's statements like this from Kathy Hochul that really make you ask, why do so many black people continuously vote for Democrats? I mean, look at the state of your communities. Look at a lot of the Democrat-led cities. Look at a lot of your Democrat-led cities. What are the conditions of those cities? Are you really happy? Are you really winning with these Democratic lawmakers and politicians, these Democratic mayors, Democratic governors? Like, I think that this really calls for some reevaluation of a lot of things. Now, I don't want to put Kathy Hochul into the bucket of all Democrats, but if I were to basically kind of flip this thing around, you're shocked that you're bringing to our attention that black kids don't know anything about computers here. I mean, that's a pretty blanket statement. Am I to think that all Democrats are racist? I mean, if we're going to play this all or nothing game that Kathy Hochul's playing, I mean, that's the only thing that kind of comes to mind. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this lady's about dumber than a box of AOCs. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the dumbest thing I have ever heard, guys.